Dare to venture down Bizarre Boulevard, a realm of mysterious creatures and strange occurrences that defies the boundaries of reality. No matter which path you choose, remember that all roads eventually lead to this chilling and enigmatic destination.
Welcome to Bizarre Boulevard, and today we'll be discussing the strange and bizarre case of the Long Island serial killer, the enigma of the Long Island serial killer. We are reminded of the horrors that may lay beneath the surface of even the most attractive of locales as we dive into the horrifying story of the Long Island serial killer. Law enforcement personnel, the families of the dead, and the general public have been disturbed and alarmed since the catastrophe more than 10 years ago. The Long Island serial killer, also known as the Gilgo Beach Killer, is believed to be responsible for the murders of at least 10 people, primarily women, between 2007 and 2010. The bodies were discovered in the vicinity of Gilgo Beach, Long Island, New York, and surrounding areas. The victims' remains were found in various stages of decomposition, making it difficult for authorities to identify them and determine the causes of death. The police investigation into the Long Island serial killer case has been plagued by controversy, including allegations of mishandled evidence, a lack of resources, and questions about the effectiveness of the investigation. Nevertheless, law enforcement officials have continued to pursue the case, and new leads and developments have emerged over the years. The victims of the Long Island serial killer were primarily young women who worked as escorts and advertised their services online. The killer would contact them, arrange a meeting, and then take them to a secluded location where he would murder them and dispose of their bodies. The remains of some of the victims were found wrapped in burlap sacks, while others were discovered in shallow graves. The victims were identified as Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthélemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, Jessica Taylor, Jane Doe No. 6, and an Asian male who has yet to be identified. In addition, the remains of 2 other victims who have not been identified were found in the vicinity of Gilgo Beach. The investigation into the Long Island serial killer case has been complicated by a number of factors. The killer has been meticulous in his efforts to conceal his identity and evade detection, and the victims were from different parts of the country and had no apparent connection to each other. Despite these challenges, law enforcement officials have pursued a number of leads and developed several theories about the killer's identity. In 2015, police released a composite sketch of a potential suspect based on DNA evidence recovered from the victims. However, the sketch has not resulted in any arrests or breakthroughs in the case. In addition, several people have been identified as persons of interest in the case, including a former police officer and a doctor. However, no one has been charged with the murders, and the case remains open and active. The Long Island serial killer case has had a significant impact on the community and the wider public. The murders have raised awareness about the dangers of online prostitution and the vulnerability of sex workers. They have also sparked debates about the effectiveness of law enforcement efforts to combat sex trafficking and other crimes against women. The case has also had a personal impact on the families of the victims, who have struggled to come to terms with their loved ones' deaths and the lack of progress in the investigation. They have called for greater resources and support for law enforcement officials, as well as greater awareness and understanding of the issues surrounding the case. The Long Island serial killer case remains one of the most perplexing and disturbing unsolved mysteries in recent history. The killer's identity and motives remain a mystery, and law enforcement officials continue to search for answers and justice for the victims and their families. The incident serves as a reminder of the darker aspects of human nature and the need for resources and vigilance to reduce crime and violence in our neighborhoods. We can only hope that one day the Long Island serial killer's mystery will be cleared up and the families of the victims will receive the satisfaction they so richly deserve. In conclusion, the Long Island serial killer case is a tragic episode in New York's past that has had a long-lasting effect on the neighborhood and the general populace. We must keep in mind the victims and their families and endeavor to stop similar tragedies from happening in the future. Thank you for watching The Long Island Serial Killer and for supporting Bizarre Boulevard. We'll see you next time.